Okay, for this next problem, right, it's a little application. Can we do our work when we're given formulas? Right, it says the area of the shaded region is given by this equation, right? So here is my shaded region, right? And its area is given by the equation, the inverse sine of b minus the inverse sine of a. And we're asked, determine the exact area. Remember, exact area implication is you can do this without a calculator. And it's saying if a is negative 1/2 and b is root 3 over 2, right? Command term determine, I need to show my setup. So what can I say? The area is going to be, right, the inverse sine of b, which is the inverse sine of root 3 over 2, minus the inverse sine of a, which is negative 1/2. Okay. Well, what is the inverse sine of root 3 over 2? So in other words, what angle has the sine ratio of root 3 over 2? The answer to that is pi over 3. Then minus, what angle has a sine ratio of negative 1/2? Well, the answer to that would be negative pi over 6, because we should still understand that my sine is negative in quadrant 3 and quadrant 4, right? If the ratio is 1/2, if the sine ratio is 1/2, the reference angle is pi over 6, right? But in this fourth quadrant, because of the restrictions for my inverse sine, negative pi over 6. So I can think of this as 2 pi over 6, getting a common denominator, plus pi over 6, which ends up being pi over 2. Right? So the exact area here is pi over 2. Right? You'll get to work through this problem, determine the exact area if the value of a and the value of b were here on your own. Ask questions for clarification where needed.